Jessica, and we've kind of gotten a little bit of a following on our social media sites. So we thought we would take a minute to have an introductory video, kind of introduce ourselves. That way, you know what you're getting into. We already know, and we just wanted to make sure you knew what you were getting into. Correct?
Yeah, it could be a mess sometimes.
Are you talking about my sippy cup situation this morning?
No.
That's good.
Although I did make him put a lid on his cup.
You know those sippy cups that have the little round bottoms that just like roll around and all that? Do they make those for adults? If you know, comment below and send me a link. I need it.
Possibly, yeah. Lots of liquid, lots of Scentsy testers. It was fun for
A brand
me.
new laptop. It was a disaster. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that we can laugh about that because you and I have been married for what, 28 years?
28 years.
Almost 28 and a half.
Well, I guess
Just a little over
December,
28. Yeah,
December
just a
will be
little over 28, I guess. And we've been together what? 30?
Yeah. January will be 30, I think.
Yeah, January will be 30.
Yeah.
That's a long time to put up with me.
It's true.
Son of a. She ain't wrong. She really ain't wrong there. But we met in college, right?
We did.
You lived down the hall from my sister,
Yep.
who followed me to college because her and I were best friends back in the day. I would still say I guess we're best friends still.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
And
don't know that
we
we're
don't
close
live.
enough.
We don't live as close as we used to.
No,
But
I don't
yeah.
think I'm close enough to her to give her a kidney like I would have done in college and high school.
Oh, okay.
I give her half a kidney.
Well, anyway.
Anyway, I digress.
So.
But we met, and I'm going to be honest with you. When the first time I saw her, I was like, "Hello, nurse." And
I wasn't a nurse.
funny enough, she became a nurse. But no, she was the hottest thing on that campus.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
You just liked me, and I liked you back. And then we got married. Well, yeah, got married. We're two sons, grown. One is oldest one's 28. Our baby, well, he ain't a baby. They'll always be babies to me, but he's 26. Both have served in the military in one capacity or another. The younger one is still in the military. We won't talk a lot about that because of the whole
secrecy thing,
thing and stuff. But
right.
So yeah, they both kind of live far away from us. So we're empty nesters. We've had a lot of life behind us. Like we won't go into details, but we've been young, broke, with kids, raising kids. We've moved a lot with jobs.
We had cars that once you started it in the morning, you had to leave it running all day, or it wouldn't start again unless you jump started it.
We've had a fun life. Like
we've had vehicles that sounded like jet engines.
Yes, we have.
That thing was. Whew.
But we've done all kinds of things. We homeschooled when the boys were little for a little while. Then we did public school. Then we had football, band, all kinds of things. Then we moved a lot with your job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wanted to homeschool more at the end of school, so through high school. And so I'll let you tell them what you do now, and
I used to, when our children were younger, I had one of the best jobs in our town as far as the factory, but it still wasn't enough for two small boys in diapers and such things. So throughout our married career, most of married life, I have, up until the last 17 years, worked anywhere from 1 to 4 jobs at a time.
Mm-hmm. With me working part-time.
With her working part-time, and me working wherever and whenever and however I could to make ends meet. And then 17 years ago, I got an opportunity to work a job that I'll be honest with you, as much as it annoys me, I enjoy it. I love it. I get to travel, but not. Just so y'all know, I am not a truck driver.
You can. You're not going to go into your company, but you do work for a
I work
railroad.
for a railroad, and people like automatically assume that I run the trains.
Yeah, that's not what you do.
No, no, I do not run the trains. What I try to do.
Our son does that though.
Our son does do that.
Yeah.
What I try to do is to fix the track so that my son has something to run on, and that way he has something to wreck on, and he thinks it's us.
Yeah.
So, but I travel around with a team of gentlemen, and we travel all over the eastern United States, from the Mississippi River to the Atlantic coast, and then from Canada. We can actually go into Canada if they need us to, all the way to the tip of Florida.
Yep.
And in some summers, I have done exactly that. I travel anywhere from 47 to 49 weeks out of the year.
Yep. Usually like Sunday through Thursday, unless it's really far away. Like if it's really far away from home,
Then I stay.
Our home base is in West Virginia, and so if it's really far, then he'll stay over. But for the most part, like you,
8 hours is about my limit. Any longer than that, and I've eaten everything, including my truck seat.
And we've lived multiple places. We've moved with this job a few times, and so most of the time I've worked some part time, some full time. I've kind of been like I've mostly in our early married life. My focus was on being a mom and raising the boys and making sure that I was available for them, because like with the jobs that you've had, I wanted them to have like a parent that could be there. So we kind of worked
didn't have inventory.
Whatever.
That's another whole story.
Other story. So then, so then we've moved several times with that job, and then we moved here. And so when we moved here to Charleston, the boys were kind of a little overwhelmed with how big the school system was, and they wanted to homeschool through high school again. So we did that. And when the youngest was, I don't know, he was about a junior, maybe. Was he around a junior? And it just kind of hit me one day. I thought, what in the world am I going to do when he finishes school? So a couple people we knew had mentioned, hey, you'd probably be a good nurse. And so I was like, wonder what you got to do to be a nurse. So I kind of looked into it and found out you had to take a test. It was called the TEAS test. And I was like, well, I'll try taking that test and see what happens. And I actually scored really good on it. I credit that to homeschooling the boys through high school, because it was all kinds of things that we had covered, with that. So
I can see that.
Then I applied to the nursing program at our local community college and got in, and finished in 2 years for my associates. And then I started looking at my transcript, and I had never really finished a bachelor's degree, even though we had met in college. I honestly, I was so young, I don't think I knew enough of what I wanted to do. I changed my major.
It really wouldn't have been a good thing, honestly, for you to do, because...
No, I changed my major a bunch of times when I was younger, and I just think I needed to get some life under my belt before I really knew what I wanted to do. So, anyway, I got to looking, and I only needed, like, it was very minimal amount of classes to finish my bachelor's. So while I was working as a nurse, I went back and did an online RN to BSN program and finished that. And so, yeah, I've done a little bit. Oh, there goes Shiloh. Hang on just a minute. So Shiloh's better now.
Yeah.
So I worked in intensive care. I was a nurse extern there while I was going through school, and then they hired me full time. I did that a couple of years, and then COVID hit, and I was on night shift, and I wasn't sleeping very good at night. So I went to home health for a little while. I really liked home health. I did out in the field, going to people's homes and seeing them. Then I did some case management. And I just really miss patient care. So I'm back in the hospital now, and I really like it.
You are?
Well, not like
As a patient?
as a nurse.
Oh, as a nurse. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And I work in
I panicked there
intermediate,
for a
work
minute.
in intermediate care in a surgical and vascular intermediate care, and I really like that. Um, and so yeah, that's kind of what we do. And
Yeah,
then
at the time though, at the time that you were getting your associate's degree in nursing,
it was about a year in, I think, when you started. It wasn't.
it was almost coincided because mine was a 2-year program as well.
When did you finish?
In August of 19, you finished in May of.
Okay, so
19.
I was probably one semester in. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
While she was in nursing school, I was still traveling. And so I got to looking and thought, hey, it took me 13 years to get my bachelor's degree. Now, granted, there was 7 years in there I wasn't going to school, but it
Yeah.
took 13 years. I started in 93. I got my bachelor's degree in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought, you know what? I think I'll try to get a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a master's degree from
WVU.
WVU in communication with an emphasis on business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I learned how to do a lot of this stuff that we're doing. And one guy always asked me, when I mentioned my degree, he says, "So what exactly does that mean?" And I said, "Well, what that means is that I learned how to tell you that you're an idiot and you thank me for it." And he goes,
Oh,
"Oh,
my God.
thank you." And I went, "See?"
Oh my gosh. He sounds like he has a terrible sense of, like, things come out his mouth before he thinks about what he's saying.
Oh, no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I think about it.
No, you don't. You don't.
say.
It doesn't swirl around in there long enough to.
Well, I like to be as surprised about what I say as other people.
Yeah. Well, it's surprising sometimes. Um, So yeah, that's a little bit of us in a nutshell.
Mhm.
And then
recently,
last winter,
Yeah.
at some point, a girl I work with I had always here and there messed with like burning a candle or whatever, but I was terrible at remembering to like blow them out, and so I just really didn't do a lot with it. I liked home fragrance. Like I'd done like the little wall plugs and the things like that, but
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
nothing really too
Right.
much. So she had mentioned to me about Scentsy, and I didn't really know that much about it, but they had this retro ceramic Christmas tree that reminded me of one that my mama had when I was little. And I thought, oh gosh, wouldn't it be nice to have that little tree, sitting out? And
Right.
so I ordered it, and I ordered some wax, and I really liked it. A funny story, he loved it. So he like got all over the wax.
I got
and the
all up in its business.
scents and ordering warmers and
Yes.
yeah. So then in March of this year, Aaron is the one who signed up to be a Scentsy consultant. So I just kind of tagged
Go
along
us.
for the ride, yeah. And then I have dabbled here and there with some vendor wax and some things like that. And then yesterday I actually purchased some Bath and Body Works candles. Thanks to some reviews from Emily, the candle nurse. Um, and so trying a few of those to see. And I got a candle crock because that way then I don't have to worry about remembering to not burn the house down.
But did you tell them about what you did to that poor employee at Bath and Body Works? She started having a conversation with you.
Talking about interesting scents, and she was talking about the tomato vine scent that they had, and I love the scent of tomato vine, and so I was telling her about Scentssy's Ratatouille bar and how it kind of confused me because it wasn't a bad smell, but it was. It
Right.
was just interesting, and I couldn't place when I would want to warm that.
Right.
And she was talking about how much she would like it, so I just was like, "Hey, we do Scentsy." Like,
And then she walked off, and she walks
Aaron's
over
like, "Give
to
her a
me.
business card."
She walks over to me, and she's just smiling, and I said, "Go back over there and give her a business card." And she's like, "What? What?" I said, "Give her a business card."
So I did. To back up, okay, so part of our story, this isn't Scentsy related, but I was just gonna throw in there that like we have both struggled weight wise like on and off our whole marriage. We've been really heavy, thin, lost 100 pounds, gained 100 pounds plus, lost it again, gained it again, a bunch of times. In 2015, we both had weight loss surgery the same day. And we did pretty well with it. I think COVID kind of threw us for a loop there for a little while, and I put some weight back on. You put some weight back on. Um, and I've been really working
The weight
on,
elevator found me and just worked.
and I've been working really hard since April of last year to get that off. So,
I've told her to quit working somewhere because every time she loses it, I keep finding it.
so anyway, yeah,
just
like
throws it off
we're
somewhere.
just real people, and we just kind of thought that maybe we'd give you a little insight into our family, and we have 3 dogs.
And to make it even more so that you all understand a little bit more about our interactions in our videos, she's my best friend. I would rather hang out with her than anybody else and do anything else. But also, one thing that we didn't put in there is that I'm a prodigious reader.
You are, and he's gonna try to like share some interesting videos about books. And
I did
not,
share one.
yeah, but that was when you were working night shift. I feel like you need a do over.
That was horrible. But I have so far this year, and this is July or
No, today is
Jeez.
August 24th.
August 24th. I have finished 82 books for this year.
Yep.
So
I,
let's just kind of throw something in there.
I'm more of an Audible person, but I think, what did I tell you? I was in the 20 something.
Yeah,
at the
but those
beginning of the
count. See,
year.
that's the thing. The Audible books count
Yeah.
as a book.
I'm really good at starting like actual physical paper books and not finishing them. But now one of my favorite things that he does, so this is a cool fact about us. I love when he reads to me. So like sometimes we'll have an interesting book, or we've done the Harry Potter series, we've done some other ones, but I love to listen to him read. So sometimes in the winter especially, like he'll just read a book aloud, and that's like one of my favorite things.
And when our boys were younger, and I used to travel,
yeah, he would call.
I would call.
It was really, I think Skype was kind of like a newer. There wasn't a lot of video calling and stuff like that, so he would call over the phone. We'd turn on the speakerphone, and he would read to him, and so that was a fun memory too.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was.
So, yeah, like we're just kind of empty nesting and loving home fragrance, and
I'll be honest with you, Jessica. I love life. I love our life.
Yeah.
After so many years of not, it's really fun to like really enjoy.
I think it was more not. I think sometimes, when you're just trying to get your kids raised and you're trying to.
I was talking more about me than I was
Okay.
us as a couple.
Yeah.
Now, us as a couple, now we went through,
Yeah, I just
Fire.
mean, I just think sometimes you're just so busy with all those things, and you're so stressed about all those things, and then you get to this place like where, I'm late 40s. He turns the big 50 this year. And so I just think you get here and it just feels better. Like you feel like you got your feet under you a little bit better. And so anyway, we just thought we would share a little bit about us and about life, and
how much fun it is.
Yeah, and so we just thought you might be a little bit interested, and
if you're not,
that's
sorry.
okay too. I will say, if you decide to watch us, you're probably going to get some laughs, because there's times that I try to put my car keys in the refrigerator.
Or I'm going to get arrested for assault.
Yeah, he before he went gray, he was a redhead, so there's that too. But anyway, that's just us, just Aaron and Jessica, just plain old Aaron and Jessica. So
all right,
anyway.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.